Hi, I'm Robbie Lawler.
What's up, Fight Family? This is your favorite MMA coach, Thiago Alves, the Pitbull.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Pedro Munoz.
This is Mike Brown.
Guys, I'm Alexei Olenik. And welcome.
And welcome.
And welcome.
And welcome.
And this is We Want One Picks.
And you're watching We Want Picks.
To We Want Picks.
To We Want Picks.
To We Want Picks.
To We Want Picks. Hi, everybody from American Top Teams.
How about that intro, Jacob?
And this is Vivant Picks. I love that. Alexei Olenek.
Yeah, and then he added like, "Hello from American Top Team."
American Top Team. Me and Big Downer were talking about that last night. Vivant Picks. I don't know why it's so funny, but we appreciate him doing that.
Yeah, we got a bunch, and there's more to come. We should have Dustin and Masvidal some point in the next month or two. So that'll be nice.
Name drops, huh?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
There you go.
So let's talk about the fight. Last fight card of the year. We don't have anything for another month. We're gonna give you our picks. We'll talk about bets. This is sort of free form. Come in here with your questions. Let us know what you think about your lineups, who you should put in your lineups, all of the above. And don't forget to make deposits. David Dean with the first question. There is no promo code. Just make sure you use our link and it'll go that way. So wewantpicks.com/bets. You'll see 5 different logos for 5 different companies. Click bet online. Using that link will get you squared up. So just do that and you'll be good to go. I hear sirens. Hopefully they're not coming for me.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Well, I had fire trucks at my place last night.
What'd you say?
I had fire trucks at my place last night. Somebody exploded their oven or something. I don't know what happened.
It's an interesting theory, Quentin. I wouldn't, the problem is in all likelihood, there's a knockout or a TKO. So anything's possible, but in all likelihood, the winner will score some good points.
You know, I didn't put anyone in the main event in my lineup.
I'll have to double check my lineup, but I'm pretty sure I did. To me, it'd be foolish not to. Just because, yes, it could be boring, just like we saw with Ngannou, but we'll see. Here, let's make the screen more interesting. There we go. So let's see.
You know what's kind of funny is when I was building my lineup, I actually completely forgot that Derek Lewis and that was the main event. I thought that Stephen Thompson and Bilal was the main event.
Yeah. No.
I don't know why I did that, but
yeah, nobody knows. Yeah. We want
Picks. Okay.
So David, is the Black Beast live? Yeah, of course. Of course. In every fight, literally in every single fight.
I think he said, is he alive?
Well, yeah, he's definitely not dead. And if you mean, is he alive in his fight? Literally 100% of the fights that guy's in, he's live. He can knock anybody out at any moment, and he's proven that. Come from behind victory over Volkov, come from behind victory over who's that big ass wrestler?
Yep.
God damn it! Who's the giant wrestler in the division?
Right, Romanov.
No. Why are you here? What's his name?
Yeah,
Curtis Blades. Yeah, thanks for the help. Let's see. Hilario, main event over 1.5. I know you like those heavyweights over. The only reason I didn't do that, I do like that. I do like that quite a bit. I actually don't have a reason why I didn't do that. I've done so much money this week that I got a little nervous. But I do like the over on heavyweights, especially Chris Daukaus isn't stupid. He knows what he's up against. And then obviously, oh my God, Derek Lewis. He obviously Derek Lewis is always ready to go. Like takes his time, waiting for his shots.
He looked awful that last fight, but he mentioned a lot of it has to do with anxiety. Not only with the everyone knew that, and he was pretty open about the anxiety leading up to the main event last time because it was in Houston, hometown. He was trying to show out for all his friends and family and stuff. But apparently that was like the 13th anniversary to the day he got like released from prison or whatever. So he said to
I
like
saw
really
that,
hit him.
but come on, that's not the one.
I mean, it said it hit him hard, and so I mean, some
What the hell's
people
the
anxiety
13?
affects people more than others.
I know, but 13, like that's not
I
a
don't know.
milestone. Let me walk through my bets, guys. I'm trying to go live on TikTok here, and it's just literally not working.
TikTok. Should we do
I
some
know it's
dances?
for the children, but
I think you're supposed to do some dances for TikTok. Get up
It's
and do
for the
some
kids,
dances. I bet
but
it starts
the
working.
views
Get
on
up
TikTok
and
are
do some
insane.
dances. I bet it starts working.
All right, let's answer some. Otherwise, people are just going to leave. Okay, let's be useful here.
Well, you're the one not
Logan,
doing that.
how do you feel about Gamrot in 100% of my lineups? Listen, honestly, I love it. He's 80-something, 8,500. Not only did I think he was going to already dominate Diego Ferreira, but after Diego Ferreira's weight issues, like, yeah, obviously he made weight, but like he did not look good. I'm even more confident.
What were
Gamrot.
the opening odds for that? Wasn't Gamrot like a minus 185 or something like that?
What is
Do
he
you get
now?
that slide? What's that?
What is he now?
Minus 225.
Yeah.
So that's incredible value for $8,500. Because if you're minus 225, and I mean that's a $9,000, $9,100 DraftKings player. So
Yeah.
the odds are moving.
Here's the thing, David. You're probably right. Your TikTok account isn't able for what a joke. You're probably right, David. But Rafael Sunsao is the real deal. Very legit. Tons of experience, good everywhere. So Rafael Sunsao super live. I don't necessarily think he's going to pull off the upset, but I don't know how many points Ricky's going to be able to score if Rafael Sunsao is able to defend some takedowns and keep it on his feet.
Yeah, there's nobody I love more. Obviously, there is people I love more, but I am a big Ricky Simone guy. I've always talked highly about Ricky Simone. He's just a relentless wrestler that also has some power in his hands. I kept him out of my DraftKings lineup because of a Sunsao, because he's one of the best people that you honestly have. Like,
all right, you keep going. I got to hold on.
Oh my God, what a disaster this is. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the Jacob show. This is how we want to be. Jacob, week 3 of me and you on Twitter. Oh, are you the one that sends me the picks? Yeah, go ahead and send them, man. I'll make I haven't seen one of those cards come across yet to be able to circle all my players and make my picks, but who do you have in the you know what really bums me out, guys, is the Barcelos Victor Henry fight dropping, because I really honestly thought that Victor Henry had a shot in that fight. Hani Barcelos is a very, very good fighter, but there was something about Victor Henry. The fact that he just fought in October, won his promotions title, whatever promotion that was, just won the title. He's feeling good. He's coming in. I felt like he was going to be able to kind of pull Barcelos into that kind of that war and really wear on him being that high energy guy. So yeah, we'll see what's going on. Ownership will be heavy today on Gamrot, Pennington, Gato, Parisian, Taffa, and Harry too. Yeah, I have a feeling Gamrot's going to be in pretty much everybody's lineup.
100%. Honestly, he should be. It's shocking he's not a bigger favorite or more expensive in DraftKings.
I can't believe he's because he really, honestly, I mean, technically he's an undefeated fighter and not like a 7-0, like 19-0. His one loss was a split decision loss. So that means he's one judge away basically from being an undefeated fighter that just dominates people. He just Khabibs people is what he does. Yeah. So it's crazy.
I hear you. No, I completely agree. He's very, very, very good.
Well, I think the thing that scares people is last fight, Ferreira's fight versus Gregor Gillespie, who Gillespie is also a very, very good wrestler, he was able to scramble out of some positions versus Gregor, but Gregor is like a more aggressive wrestler, aggressive grappler compared to Gamrot, where Gamrot, I watched one fight where Gamrot got somebody on the ground, and he was kind of like in that weird position where he's kind of in half guard, about to go to mount, or the guy's going to, give up his back. And Gamrot literally just sat there, had his hips on him, and was just waiting for this guy to say, okay, you just do whatever you want to do. And the second he transitioned, Gamrot just jumped all over him. So I love Gamrot's patience and everything about Gamrot in this fight. So, and if he somehow gets beat, then I think everyone's going to be wrong. So I'm not even worried about that. So,
yeah. And we got a question here about Air Jordan to finish, which I think he is live for a finish. I don't like betting for finishes because you can't necessarily chase all of them. So if you look, I did the under on rounds in that fight because anything's possible. But you know, I do think he's live for a finish. What do you think, Jake?
I have Charles Jourdain instead of Ricky Simone in my DraftKings lineup for that reason. Obviously, the level of competition. If you look at a Sun Sao versus Uhl in those matchups, Jourdain and Uhl is not as good as a Sun Sao, where Ricky Simone is fighting a Sun Sao. So in DraftKings, you got to chase finishes, right? And Jourdain has 11 wins, 11 finishes. So if he wins, he's probably going to get a finish. And Ricky Simone is more of a wrestler, not a real big finisher. And the guy he's fighting is incredible. So it's like in DraftKings, I would chase Jourdain over Simone. And like I said, I love Simone.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you're right. DraftKings, you got to be chasing finishes. But we looked up Ricky Simone's stats, and that dude is, I mean, the amount of takedowns and points he scores is incredible. So I do have Ricky Simone in my DraftKings lineup, but Jourdain certainly get a stoppage. I hope all you guys saw that. What's his name is out.
I talked about
Honey
that.
Barsolas.
I said that while you're going.
Yeah,
which I really thought that was going to be one of the fight of the night, and I had picked Henry, and I was thinking about putting him in my DraftKings lineup, but obviously that's all not for now. Do we know why that was dropped? I just saw it was dropped. I don't know why.
No, and it said it was Hani that dropped, so I'm not sure. I mean, probably COVID, honestly, but who knows?
Okay, so if Hani drops and I pick Victor, I'm already 1-0.
Okay, here we go with that math. David Dean said, seems like people are saying Angela Hill can stay outside and out volume Amanda Lemos. Do you think Lemos is the real deal? I do think Lemos is the real deal. Angela Hill is tough. She can stay outside. That's what she does best. Not getting finished is what she does. So I'm not on the side that Angela Hill is going to get stopped in this fight, because I don't think Angela Hill gets stopped in this fight. But I do think Lemos blows through her, dominates, but Angela Hill is very tough and tough enough to not get stopped. That's why that plus 3.5 bet on Angela Hill, and anybody new here doesn't know what those plus 3.5 bets are, you basically buy a single round on the judge's scorecard. So all Angela Hill needs to do is win one round. And Amanda Lemos does get tired. So if Amanda Lemos dominates the first round, second round, is tired because she's chasing Angela Hill around, Angela Hill could win that third round. You bought a round on the judge's scorecards, and now your bet pays out. So I like that. I'm not going to do it. I don't like it enough to actually do it, but I do think that's a solid bet. And anybody who's on that side, instead of doing Angela Hill money line, which is you're chasing, and let's see what those odds are. But instead of doing an Angela Hill money line, you could do, buy yourself a round, and now all of a sudden, instead of plus 300, you get plus 150, plus 120, or plus 200, and that's not bad for a safety net bet. And you're only going to get that wewantpicks.com/bets. And then click on Bet Online. They're the only ones that offer those safety net bets. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, those odds for Angela Hill. Yeah, those Angela Hill odds are plus 220 now.
So it dropped a little bit.
Most is a minus 280, which seems pretty reasonable for the reasons we outlined as far as cardio reasons. And obviously, Amanda Lemos is one of the ones that Ricky Simone and Amanda Lemos. There's a lot of favorites that I don't feel great about on this card, and especially for DraftKings. It was Ricky Simone and Amanda Lemos that I'm like, I feel like you got to have one of those people in your lineup. It's like, which one do I really want in there? So I chase the finishing power. I'm going to have Amanda Lemos in my lineup, but Angela Hill's toughness does scare the shit out of me, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, she's tough, and she just dances and dances and moves around. She's got pillow fists, so she's not doing any real damage anywhere, but she's tough enough to avoid.
And she looked, she looked great at her weigh-in. She posted like her own little video about her like walking to the scale. If you have not seen that, you might want to go to Twitter and check out Angela Hill's Twitter. So
you need to relax.
It's not Sunday; it's Saturday.
What's up, Riley? He says, "What's up, guys? Gatto line is moving to plus 159 on some books. Still feeling good about her. I still feel good about her. If anything, I feel a little better because Sajara looked miserable at weigh-ins."
Yeah, I was pretty surprised that these odds are obviously they're going from like 145 to 150 or whatever, so they're not moving like anything crazy. But I was surprised that people are kind of sleeping on Gatto, and we'll see what happens. But maybe people are, maybe people will see Sajara was keeping some weight on. They feel like she's going to have more power in that matchup, I guess. But Gatto's nasty, man, and I think she's going to come through for everyone.
Well, and I only did the half a unit bet on her though because I do think she's good. They're very similar, strong as hell. and very good grapplers. The difference is Sajara struggles with cardio. Melissa Gatto doesn't. So I did a half a unit bet on Melissa Gatto because I do think Gatto can, make something happen there and get something done. But
oh, it's kind of funny. Melissa Gatto, I put the a unit bet on her to win by submission at plus 1,000. It's now plus 600. So there you go.
Yeah,
those are moving in the right direction.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ownership will be, I think we covered this, but ownership will be heavy today on Gamrot, Pennington, Gatto, and Parisian, Tafa, and Harry too. Yeah, I mean, our boy Joey, I see you're in here. You can cover the ownership in a little bit. We'll be here for a little while. So
Imbe, that's an interesting stat. Angela Hill's 0 for 6 when she's the underdog. Huh.
Well, but that was in the breakdown. We didn't say that exact stat, but in the breakdown, we said she loses to everybody she's supposed to lose to and then beats who she's supposed to beat. She's not upsetting anybody. Like, she lost to all the good people she fights, she loses to. It's just what she does.
She was upsetting me with that Twitter video of her, the weigh-ins.
You need to relax. That's why I think main event is fadeable. Pay up for Cub and hope he outscores Daukaus. Yikes. I do not think that's a good trade at all. At all.
Wait, so who said something about Cub?
Quentin Nolan basically said ditch the main event and grab Cub. But whoever wins the main event in all likelihood is going to score 120 points.
Not necessarily.
Anything's possible. It's fistfights, but in all likelihood, yes.
I think it's going to be boring. Boring decision.
Grow up. David Dean, send us an email with your BetOnline user account, and then we'll get you paid. And
Double D.
Okay. Let's see. Daukaus by submission is plus 900. Daukaus by submission is not easy. Not easy.
MMA does not work on Derek Lewis. Don't forget that. Don't you forget that. It's actually plus 1,000 on BetOnline.
What is?
Daukaus by submission.
Oh, really?
You can get Derek Lewis by submission for plus 3,300. Now, that is interesting because Derek Lewis is the best blue belt in Texas. So, you want to take a flyer, maybe drop some,
okay.
Blue belt.
More nonsense from Jacob. Is Simon a safe replacement for Barcelos getting canceled? That's literally the swap that I made. So, let's hope so. But that is the exact swap I made. I loved Barcelos in this, loved him. So, that's the swap that I made. So, I'm assuming it is.
He was going to get beat. So,
okay.
I mean, that's the reason why he pulled out of the fight. Probably, honestly, and this is not even a joke. Like,
here we go.
If you don't want, I was going to give you a real breakdown about what happened in that fight, but
I'm happy to not get one of those. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'm going to tell it anyway. I think that he saw my breakdown and got scared and pulled out of the fight. I think that's what happened.
I'm going to look stupid here, but there's a lot of you talking about fading the main event. I just don't see it, especially they're cheap. They're affordable. You want to fade the main event because it's 9,500 and 60 something, then sure. But we have two 8,000 something fighters that one of them is going to score a ton of points, 8,300, 7,900. Why would you, let's put it this way. If it wasn't the main event, this wouldn't even be a conversation. It wouldn't even be a conversation. You guys would 100% pick your side and have one of those people in your lineup. Okay, 31 knockouts between these two guys. 31 knockouts between them. 31.
How many between Derek Lewis and Ngannou was it?
Oh, so you're okay. One fight. Okay.
All right, but how about Gane and Lewis?
Okay.
I mean, Lewis has a track record
of
doing nothing.
You think it goes the distance? I think this is a knockout. Would you like to bet?
Lewis has a track record of doing nothing until he does something.
So great, Daukaus. Anyway, it's more likely to get second here. Quentin with some reasonable response. Daukaus may be timid, but these heavyweights, and he's never been timid before. I mean, it is a fist fight. Anything's possible. Who's up more units on the year? Honestly, it's hard to say because if you total the weeks, yeah, because you've had to make multiple. Jacob, how many times were you down?
Hold on, I'll be right back. Just a second.
That's what I thought. Yeah, he's gonna go get his fake gold chains. Here's the thing. I'm up money every year. Let me fix this nonsense. Hide him. Bring him back. I'm up money every single week except the last 2 weeks. So I'm up 3 units a week the whole year. Jacob's losing 30 units.
How did I go to the
40
bottom
units.
here? What happened here?
Oh, yeah, that's you leave. That's what happens. And then up, he's up 56 units or whatever the hell from last week.
Here's some units.
He's had to. All right, if we're airing dirty laundry, you've had to make deposits into Bet
Here's
Online.
some units.
Haven't you had to make deposits to stay alive this year?
Here's some more units.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's a nice meatball, huh?
Here's some more units.
Okay, you're gonna get muted.
Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, I think they've seen enough to understand how it works with you. Feast or famine. This week is a perfect example. Let's look at Jacob's bets. Jacob,
it's really house money. If you don't win a bunch of money,
it's not Jacob. It's not house money. You've made deposits this year to
to
stay alive because you've lost all your money and you had to make new deposits.
What are you talking about?
You swear on your life that you have not had to make any deposits this year.
I don't know why you're trying to trash somebody that's on the same show as you.
I'm not trashing. I was literally saying
you got so defensive that you were trying to make fun of me.
I was saying it's hard to say, and then
we're making picks for people. You're trying to
units?
tell everyone that I'm bad at picks. I've never seen this before in my life. You're just throwing me under the bus because you got so defensive.
We have very different approaches. You're feast or famine.
This is
and
unreal.
then I was about to explain that, and then you rolled your eyes and got up and got your fake jewelry.
It's unreal.
It is. I agree. It isn't. See what you did, Biker Boy? You just broke up the band. In your opinion, Woodley or Gatto? Ooh, this is a very good question. What do you think?
What, Woodley or Gatto?
Yeah, you got to pick an underdog on the weekend, a plus 200 underdog. You going Woodley and boxing?
I think Woodley's going to lose now. I think my units on Woodley are trashed. That dude's got no killer instinct left in him.
Explain your logic with the Rolex.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't see there's a video. They did like some stupid interview with Ariel, and Jake Paul gave Tyron Woodley a Rolex. And Tyron Woodley, which it was a very genuine response because Woodley is, I think he's a very nice person generally. His mom is like the greatest person in the entire world. Everyone loves his mom, and a lot of people are reflections of their mother. So it was a genuine response, but he like almost started crying, like, "Thank you very much for his Rolex. I'm going to take all the, I accept all the bonuses and stuff like that." And it was just like, it was a very nice moment. But in that moment, you could tell that all the I'm gonna knock this kid, I'm gonna knock Jake Paul out, I'm gonna come across, I'm gonna be more, all that is bullshit. It's bullshit because his genuine feeling towards Jake Paul is like, thank you for this opportunity, which is good. It's not, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like the killer instinct of like, yeah, I just want to destroy this kid. Like if I'm about to fight somebody and I really feel like, F this dude, I F this dude up, and you give me Rolex, it is a Rolex, but initially I'll probably be, at least for the cameras, I'd be like, no, like screw you, like I don't want this, like get the hell out of my face. And then I'll put then I'll like slide off the table, I'll put it in my pocket, and I'll keep it. But back and forth, I'll be like, I'll throw it back in his face and I'll pick it off the ground. So I just don't see any killer instinct anymore. But Melissa Gatto, I'll tell you what, is an absolute assassin.
I think obviously they're both underdogs for a reason, but I would agree. Here's the thing: we've already seen Woodley versus Jake Paul, and Woodley almost won that fight. And not even just the knockout. He would have won the fight if he just had a touch more volume. So Woodley's already had that fight. He just needs to make some adjustments and he can win it again. But Melissa Gatto has proven her. What?
Undefeated Melissa Gatto.
I was going to say, Melissa Gatto has proven herself to actually show up when it's time to show up, where Tyron Woodley has done the opposite. That dude has not shown up and done what he's supposed to do. Even when he's more talented, even when he's better, just doesn't do what he's supposed to do when he's supposed to do it.
And if the question is Melissa Gatto or Tyron Woodley in a fight, I'm still taking Melissa Gatto 100%. I think she subs Woodley easy.
Here, I got to go potty real quick.
I mean, this is unreal.
Parlay. I'll be right back.
Thank God I'm here. Unreal. Let's go. Let's check. Let's catch up with the chat. So let's see. Bad boys, I love the show. Hope you're right. Jake Paul. Yeah, the mind game thing is kind of interesting with the Jake Paul thing, because I think it is a mind game, and a lot of people aren't probably going to like this, but I honestly think that Jake Paul is like a decent person, right? I think like deep down, you saw what he was doing with that female boxer, giving her the limelight. The last fight was like on National Women's Day, giving her a big bonus and stuff like that. Bring her along for this fight. I honestly think that Rolex moment was, 90% of Jake Paul being genuine, being like, hey, I appreciate you stepping up and taking this fight, because Jake Paul is able to get paid now too, because Woodley took the fight, because I don't know who else is going to be able to step up and take the fight and get the same kind of publicity that Woodley and Jake Paul would get. So I think it was 90% genuine. And then also 10% of like, let me soften this dude up a little bit just in case, because I think he knows, and I think Woodley both know that they're going to go out there and have some fun, right? I think they both know they're in it for the money. I don't think Woodley's going to go out there and try and kill the kid. But, you know, I think that 90% of that Rolex thing was like a genuine, like, I appreciate it. And 10% was like, you know, don't forget, we're buddies, Woodley. Like, don't forget, like, when you're in there about to take my head off, I gave you a Rolex. You know, honestly, that might be like their safe word. You know, a lot of times when I'm having a lot of sexcapades with all these models and stuff, we always have safe words. I think Rolex might be their safe word. Like Tyron Wood, like Jake Paul's hurt. He's out on his feet. Rolex, and Woodley. All right, Rolex, you good? All right, Rolex. Safe word. I mean, listen for that.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. But you know, I do think honestly, I think I'm more interested in the Woodley fight than I am in the UFC. As ridiculous as that is. But I genuinely think I'm more interested in that. Are you not interested in it at all?
Wait, what'd you say? Sorry, I was reading Bon Kiki's that was a funny comment. No guy has ever been gifted a Rolex, then proceeded to knock out the guy that gifted him a Rolex. If Angelo were to give me a Rolex, that would change. But what were you talking about?
I said I think I'm more excited for the Lewis or the Woodley fight than I am the Lewis fight. I think I care more about that. That's just more like I'm excited to see what happens in that fight. Where Derek Lewis, it'll be a fun fight. It is what it is, but I don't care as much.
I'm more interested in Colts Patriots tonight. That'll be a fun game. Playoff matchup, playoff implications. Carson Wentz going to throw for 9 touchdowns, probably break every record. But yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, I was actually really excited for the Paul Woodley fight until I saw that Rolex thing. I literally was like, ugh, because it really felt like there was, I don't want to say like real animosity, because I don't think there's real animosity, but it felt like that Woodley really wanted to go out on the shield. Like he really wanted, like, I want to prove that I can knock this kid out. And then I saw the Rolex thing. I'm like, man, this dude's just a softie. He's just a good guy. Like Woodley's just like a good guy. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know.
Well, it's interesting because I think every fight he goes out there and he intends to win, and then just for whatever reason freezes up and does basically nothing.
So what do you think the difference was in that Vicente Luque fight? What do you think made him flip that switch? Because he was a different fighter, and we've seen him be lethargic before that fight and lethargic after that fight. So I don't know what triggered him in that fight to just go balls to the wall, because it was incredible to watch. Yeah,
I have no idea. But I was hoping he would have done it again and then didn't.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like a personal thing or something. Somebody got in his ear, or he got in his own ear, and maybe because he went balls to the wall and lost, maybe he just won't do it again. You know,
who knows? But let's talk about some UFC. That's what the people are here for. Okay, Donchichi. I pinned this before, but I completely agree with this. I think Derek Lewis losing is better for the division because he'll always be who he is. Slow, boring until he knocks people out. And you always have a place for somebody like that. But if he just keeps knocking off these top contenders with these come from behind boring victories, that's not good. I don't see Mearshart winning. I think the chin doesn't hold up tonight. That's a little nerve-wracking for a lot of people. But it's funny because somebody sent us a message. Somebody sent us an Instagram message basically saying that what the hell's his name?
Stolvis?
Yeah, Stolvis is not a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's a jiu-jitsu purple belt. And his black belt is in a different martial art. And it was an interview that he did with the UFC that said that. So that doesn't help.
Well, I think that everyone knows if the fight goes to the ground, he's going to lose, right? Joe Mearshart will sub, 95% of that roster probably in the UFC. He's very, very good at MMA submissions. There's a difference between like just having a black belt and using it once you get to the ground. So if it goes to the ground, I think Mearshart's going to win, and that's what scares me about that fight. I picked against Mearshart, but when you're so good at one thing, and then that one thing starts happening, it's hard to pick against them. So I thought about even putting Dustin in my lineup, but just to trace that knockout. But I had the bet on him at plus 1,000 for the knockout, so I'll just leave at that and let DraftKings be a separate thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, because then you have too many eggs in a big underdog basket.
Right.
And underdogs are fine, but he's an underdog for a reason. Let's see what else we got here. Limo's putting up points regardless, high output. And it's going to be a decision. I don't see Lemos knocking out Angela Hill. I know a lot of people are saying that, but Angela Hill's tough and moves like crazy. She's just always running around. So I don't see that happening. Simon is a printer in DFS, and 39-year-old Sun Tzu at a low weight against 29-year-old wrestler could break the slate with takedowns. But a Sun Tzu is such a veteran. Yeah, I mean, a Sun Tzu is the real deal. He has what was it, 81% takedown defense in a 20-something fight UFC career. That's not nothing.
Yeah, the takedowns I think were 6 of 33, or here I think I have right here 6 of 33 since 2011. And what's funny is 3 of those 6 takedowns were against TJ Dillashaw. TJ Dillashaw against a Sun Tzu was 1 of 5 on takedowns, and then one fight was 2 of 4 on takedowns. So that's the best success anyone's ever had. TJ's pretty good fighter.
He's the real. I mean, the Sun Tzu's the real deal. Him and his brother, they've been OGs for a very long time.
It feels like a lot of people are going to get burnt on Ricky Simón because I think a lot of people don't know who a Sun Tzu is. And Ricky Simón, he could come in and dominate, but I think a lot of people are going to get burned on that. I think Ricky's going to win, but it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
Yeah, and Justin Chavez says, Gatto locked in my DFS. She's in mine as well, super cheap, especially after Sajara, what Sajara looked like at the weigh-ins yesterday. I think Gatto, that only helped us if we're on the Gatto side. Daukaus versus Aspinall. That would be a very fun fight. Even Derek Lewis versus anybody is always interesting to watch. And then, Daukaus versus Aspinall would be fun to watch too. So I'm obviously interested in the main event. I'm just like, I'm not excited for it. I'm interested in it. I'm legit excited for Tyron Woodley for some reason.
That is weird that you're that excited for it. I'm actually excited for Frank Gore versus Darren Williams because there's going to be a little bit of a height advantage there, but Frank Gore, the way he was hitting mitts was like he's been doing this his whole life with some power behind it. And Darren Williams looks like, apparently, I saw something that Ariel tweeted that Darren Williams, he made the weight limit. What was the weight limit? 215, 220, something like that. And I guess like a few months ago, like 6 months ago, this dude was like almost 300 pounds. So I think he started training for this fight, which really, honestly, is really never good. So I have Frank Gore, my guy, former Colt Frank Gore.
There you go.
And he was in open workouts with all his Colts gear on, which was pretty cool.
What's exciting?
Yeah.
I don't care about that fight at all. I don't care about the main event, which is, what's the price on that Showtime pay-per-view?
I think it's $60.
I don't know if he's ever gone for a submission. Probably not.
Hold on.
We're way behind on chat, but we're catching up. Don't you worry. And Doc's going to get knocked out. Doc's me wishing he didn't leave the police force.
Oh, yeah, he's got a win. I thought he did.
I'm actually surprised he left the police force because that's a pension. You don't walk away from a pension.
2010 versus Raheem Cleveland. Derek Lewis at the Worldwide Gladiator. Second round armbar. There you go.
Armbar? That's a real submission, no less.
Boom. You imagine him cranking on. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. You imagine having your arm like this and Derek Lewis just.
So, Justin, are you saying this because Daukaus is going to dominate or because Daukaus gets hit and obviously Derek Lewis hits harder than everybody else? Because I actually agree with both of those sides. Daukaus does get hit pretty often, but that you don't want to get hit again. Whereas he's just so much better and he should dominate.
And Derek Lewis only been subbed one time, and that was by DC.
DC dominated the shit out of him.
Well, that was super short notice for Derek Lewis, too. He had just fought, like 3 weeks before? And then who dropped for DC, and Derek Lewis kind of just slipped right in and just like, yeah, I'll take a title shot now.
Hustle, are you asking us if we buy every single, and by we, it's me. Actually, you bought it. You stayed home last week, but yeah, I buy every single pay-per-view. It's not worth messing, at least for me, it's not worth messing with illegal streams and all that crap because they're not reliable. And I want to watch them all, so I watch every single one. Let's see. Gerald. A lot of people like Mearshart by sub. Let's see. What's up, Josh? How you doing, old buddy, old pal?
Yo, everyone like the stream, please. For the love of
Yes.
God. Angelo says if we don't get like 50 likes in like the next 10 minutes, that I can't be on the show anymore. I can't do Saturdays anymore. Is that factual, Angelo?
It's not
We
a
have 15
lie.
right now. I think we need 50. Otherwise, I'm not invited anymore.
It's not a lie. Let's see. We have so much chat to catch up on, Jake. It's not an ad play on the main event, especially consider a lot of these fights are likely to go to distance. Yeah, that's the over 1.5 rounds, I'm guessing. New subscriber. Angelo, you got a point, but it's feast or famine with Lewin or Dog because I got Docs in my lineup, but gut feeling is Lewis will somehow find. Yeah, listen, you can pick your side, but it just would be such a waste to not have two heavyweights that could absolutely knock each other out at that price point. Chris V making fun of Dan. I always love when people other than me get made fun of. My gut feeling is Daukaus scores 70 to 80 points and just takes his W and leaves his head still attached and shoulders. That's possible too. Listen, Daukaus is the better play for DraftKings because he could obviously win by stoppage and he's skilled enough to dance around and he might have a wrestling game plan. He's a good wrestler, good grappler. He might have a wrestling game plan where the only game plan Derek Lewis ever has is wait and then throw huge punches. That's it. That's the only game plan he has. Why'd you say my bad, Biker? What'd I miss?
Probably because he got us to fight.
What'd you say?
I think he's the one that got us to fight.
Oh.
Not sure.
What happens?
Not real sure, though.
Doesn't take much. What's everyone's thought on over 1.5? We just talked about this. I like the over 1.5. I haven't placed that bet, but that's something I might do. We'll see how the night's going.
I really kind of feel like doing a full card parlay right now. The entire card.
Okay. Why don't you walk us through your thoughts?
Well, I think I need help from you. I think we need to all agree on doing a full card parlay, and we'll see what happens with it. We get the chat's help. We get your help. Do you want to do that? We'll just go down the list real quick, get some votes on it.
Okay. Yeah. The problem is the chat is on a delay, so it would take
a little bit of a delay. No big deal. So let's start. Right. Everyone, start voting right now for this.
And then let me fully catch up on chat, and then we'll do that.
Okay. But we'll do it. We'll do it how they'll start voting, and then we'll do a quick break down the fight, and then we'll tally the votes, and then I'll put a unit on the full card parlay, and we'll see what happens. So go ahead. Catch up on chat.
Or instead of, I guess, do a parlay, but that's just going to die of it. Nobody's going to get them all. You might be better off just betting every single fight.
Us as a unit can easily get the full card right. I believe in our chat. I believe in the chat. I think that the majority of the chat knows what the hell they're doing, and the majority of people that pick each fight, we're going to win a bunch of money. Or you guys are going to win me a bunch of money up there.
Well, here we go. Nathan's already asking about the first fight. Are you still confident in Jordan Levitt, let alone 2 units?
100%. I actually just watched an interview, like literally right before the stream started, about Jordan Levitt, and he mentioned Matt Sales, how he hasn't fought in 2 years and there's not a lot of tape on him. He said, listen, I'm not going to listen to everything else. I'm going to assume that this guy's going to come in and be better than the last fight I saw. And he says it honestly feels like a regional fight where a lot of times in regional fights, that you don't have tape on your opponent. You just kind of go in and you kind of know about them and you go in and just do your best. He said, I'm just approaching this as kind of a regional fight where I don't really know what's going to happen. I'm just going to do my best. And he also mentioned the amount of pressure that he lost off of him no longer being undefeated, because he said that when I was an undefeated fighter, I always thought, like, what happens when I lose? Is people going to be like, oh, he was just getting lucky the whole time? Or my friends and family going to, like, leave me basically because I lost a fight? And it turns out I lost a fight, and it was no big deal. My friends and family still love me. You know, it just happened. It was a boring decision. You know, so I'm out here doing the best I can. So I still love Jordan Levitt. He's so skilled, guys. He's so skilled as a grappler. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice caveat there. 100%. Agree. Everybody like the stream. Let's get some energy in here. Both Jacob and I are under the weather and just hoping Christmas isn't canceled because of some COVID, but we'll see what happens. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down every single fight. Jacob is going to add the general consensus to a parlay. We should do this every week, actually. It's actually a decent idea. It gives us an excuse to break down the fights again. And honestly, if a parlay ever hits, we should almost like split the money with everybody that joined the live chat somehow.
Or we can just invest that money back into doing a giveaway of some sort. We could give away. I have 5 Ryan Hall trading cards here that are in mint condition. These are going to be like.
If we have another like COVID's going crazy and we have another toilet paper shortage, though, I mean those are going to be.
I should turn these into NFTs and then sell these for like $100,000 a piece. Honestly, I can't even get these out. They're like just stacked in here.
Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Let's catch up on the chat. We'll hop around here and there. But we'll break down the fights again quickly, answer some questions, and we're going to build a 13 fight.
Hey, we want picks parlay.
A 13 fight. We want pick fan parlay because it's not mine or yours. It's theirs. Genuine question. How do we buy? Oh, I already answered this. Okay. What's up, Nicholas Lee? No, you keep the money. Do a lotto ticket parlay every card for like 0.25 units. I mean, those are almost impossible. Let's give it a try. Jester wants the hat for some reason. I mean, Jester wants to get his ass kicked in public, I guess. That thing is so stupid.
Look at that guy.
Hat there on whatever website. We're like, yeah, look at this stupid picture.
Look at that guy, man.
Look at that stupid face. Okay. Levitt was limping in the weigh-ins. Did you see this, Jacob? David Dean.
I don't believe it. He's probably just dehydrating. That people just there's a lot of people that look like they're just limping around because I mean they have no water in there, so any movement, right? They can just cramp at any moment. We actually saw that with somebody mentioned that with Fiziev. Remember Fiziev? Not last fight, but 2 fights ago. He like flexed and you saw his bicep like pop.
Oh yeah.
Because it cramped real hard, and he was like, and everyone's like, oh my god. I'm like, listen, they have no water in their system, so they're just trying to be careful, make sure to be ginger. And Jordan Levitt is a naturally kind of a weird guy anyway, so I wouldn't take any solace in him limping around.
Well, let's take a look. So we're just going to break down each fight very quickly. You guys comment while I'm breaking it down who you would like in our parlay. We're going to build a full card parlay. So we have Matt Sales versus Jordan Levitt. Matt Sales 3-2, coming off a twister submission loss 2 years ago to Bryce Mitchell. Jordan Levitt 4-1, coughing off the first loss of his career. And this is an interesting matchup because Matt Sales is super tough, good striker. And this is basically striker versus grappler. Jordan Levitt's a grappler. He doesn't have very good takedowns. His hands aren't very good. So literally, this is honestly very similar to the Mearshart fight we're breaking down later. Basically, Matt Sales keeps it on his feet, touches up Jordan Levitt, potentially TKOs him, KOs him, or Jordan Levitt could work through his mediocre striking, get a takedown or two, and then get a submission or ride out a decision win over Matt Sales. Striker versus grappler. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think wins this fight? This is a pick 'em. This is what's going to bust the parlay right out of the gate. We got a whole bunch of Monkey King Jordan Levitt here.
It's not a pick 'em anymore. I mean, Jordan's a minus 130 now, plus 109 for Matt Sales. I think the biggest difference here is the amount of kicks. I mentioned in our breakdown, the amount of kicks that Matt Sales throws. It's like, it feels like it's like 65-70% of his strikes are kicks, and that's not good when you're fighting somebody against Jordan Levitt, because he'll catch one of those kicks, or it gives him the opportunity to get one of those takedowns. And he also actually had a funny thing in that interview when he was talking about Matt Sales as an opponent. He said, "Listen, he got twisted by." He goes, listen, he got twisted by Bryce Mitchell. He's like, anyone could get twisted by Bryce Mitchell. He's a very good grappler. And then he goes, well, except me. So I thought that was a funny moment.
Yeah, that is funny.
Yeah. So I think the people.
It looks like leave it. So all right, Jordan, leave it. First leg of the.
It's Levitt.
Levitt. First leg of the We Want Picks parlay. It looks like.
It's actually Liavit. Is Jordan Liavit?
Jordan Liavit.
I mean, if I feel good about this, I might put a few units on this and just retire.
Okay. Next fight, we've got Don'Tale Mayes versus Josh Parisian, and this is similar to the main event. Don'Tale Mayes, crazy power, can knock anybody out, super strong, but not a phenomenal record. Does have cardio issues at time, but he does throw everything with 100% effort. Josh Parisian, he fought Parker Porter, if you remember, and he, with Parker, set the heavyweight significant strike record and total, I think total strikes too. record with just his sheer volume. He does not have a ton of power, but he does have power. He has 10 knockouts before the UFC. We talked to Parker. Parker said he was wobbled a few times, not enough to put his lights out, but was wobbled. So we either have Josh Parisian, who has some power and a ton of volume, or Dontel Mays, who has insane power, okay volume. Who are we putting in this 13 fight We Want Picks parlay?
Yeah, I think we need some tiebreakers in here. We need Dontel or Josh in the chat, because this is one that I honestly have no idea who is going to win. I almost put Josh in my DraftKings lineup just because I knew it's going to be sloppy. I feel like somebody's going to get knocked out. You feel different, but I feel like somebody's about to get knocked out.
Yeah.
Damn, this is like everyone's split in the chat too. Mays, Josh. Oh, there's another one for Josh. Ooh, Mays. Ooh, Mays. I think this is like honestly split. Angelo, you might have to be the deciding vote here.
I'm on the Josh Parisian side. What did it say?
Both will lose. You know what? You know who doesn't
lose.
win in this matchup, and that is America, because this is going to be sloppy.
Fans.
Yeah. It literally is like 50-50, I think.
Well, if I'm the tiebreaker, I like Josh Parisian.
All right, I like Josh too. We're going Josh as the underdog. We got 2 of 2. We're feeling good. Those are guaranteed chat picks, so those are guaranteed wins.
All right, next fight. We've got, this is a pretty easy one. We got Raquel Pennington for Macy Chasson. What is interesting here, though, is this fight is now at 145, and even then, Macy missed weight. So this is supposed to be 135. At some point during the week, Macy reached out and said, I can't make 135. Let's do it at 45. Raquel Pennington agreed, and then Macy still showed up over that limit. So Macy has missed 2 weight classes. 2 weight classes she's missed. But Raquel Pennington, that grinding, hold you against the cage, just wear you down style. And I didn't think she scored well in DraftKings, but then we looked at what she actually does score really well in DraftKings because of the control time. And then Macy Chasson, long, rangy striker that if she can keep you at the end of her strikes, does really well. If she can't, then she's just going to get grounded out. I like Raquel Pennington to win this, but what does the chat think?
This is making me sick because I have Macy winning, and I still think she wins even with the weight miss because I think she's going to be able to be more physical. I think this fight makes it way to the ground. I'll put Raquel in because the chat says Raquel, but I'm 100% against this. So if we lose this because of Raquel, I just screenshotted the chat, and every single one of you are getting banned. Chris, David, Mbe, Jester, Keaton, Dunchichi, you guys are all banned if Raquel loses this fight. So there you go. That's how I feel about it. So I just clicked her minus 142. Raquel is in the parlay. Congratulations, guys. You just blew it.
All right. Good job. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Raquel it is. Let's go. We've got Charles Jourdain versus Andre Ewell. Charles Jourdain, he's 2-2-1 coming off a submission loss to Julian Erosa. Andre Ewell 2-3. He's riding a 2-fight skid. It is important to note this is at featherweight, not bantamweight. But Andre Ewell is still big for featherweight. He was massive at bantamweight. But Charles Jourdain, he just comes forward. He's a nasty striker. He mixes things up well. Nickname Air Jourdain. Obviously because it's Air Jordan, but a lot of people like to say, oh, it's because he does flying knees and spinning jumping attacks. But he is that, like, exciting. Very exciting. Good striker. Decent hands, decent chin. And obviously he lost to Julian Erosa, but he was winning that fight, at least in my opinion, until that loss. Andre Ewell, he's a very good boxer. He has cardio issues, and he does not use his reach well. Everybody's going to talk about how long he is. He doesn't use the reach really well. I personally like Charles Jourdain here. I think his volume is good. His striking is good. And Andre Ewell gasses. With that being said, Andre Ewell is live, so my bet here is under 2.5 rounds and not on Charles Jourdain. But who do you guys want? We will add this to the We Want Picks parlay.
I cannot believe there's so many people picking Ewell. A 2-1 dog. What are the odds right now? He's a plus. I guess a plus 160. So they moved a little bit, but this seems crazy that there's so many people high on Ewell. I have Jourdain in my DraftKings lineup. I have him. I don't think I have a bet on him, but I mean, the guy's a finisher. The only thing that worries me is him blowing his load early, and Newell dominating maybe the late second and then into the third round and stealing the fight. But George Jourdain seems like the better fighter. But if I'm putting this in a parlay, it feels like, I guess it's still Jourdain, but there's a lot of ools in there.
A lot of what? Ools? Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm putting Jourdain. I think I see the most votes for Jourdain. Sorry, Ool guys. Bankiki, David Dean. You can say I told you so on Sunday, I guess, if this is the reason. I'm going Jourdain on the parlay.
All right, we're on Jourdain. Then we've got Sijara Eubanks versus Melissa Gatto. Sijara Eubanks 3-2 in her last 5. She's coming off the dominant win over a UFC debut. So let's control those a little bit, but she was a 500 fighter going into her last fight, UFC debut. She did dominate, but UFC debut that only had 4 fights. Melissa Gatto 7-0, not 7-2. She's 7-0-2. The graphic is wrong. My bad. Both of these women are big, strong, and grapplers. I think Melissa Gatto has the better striking. Sijara Eubanks is probably stronger and the better sort of bully grappler because she'll just grind you to the ground, just wear on you there, beat you up there, where Melissa Gatto could literally grapple off her back and can, is probably the better raw grappler, but not as far as MMA is concerned. So I personally think Melissa Gatto wins this fight. Jacob is also on the Gatto side. What do you guys think? And as Josh Stern said, Sijara Eubanks looked terrible at weigh-ins. Absolutely terrible at weigh-ins. So let's see what we got here.
There's a few, what actually kind of worries me is usually my lock of the week picks are like, everyone's like, oh, like really? Like that person? But there's a lot of people on Gatto's side. I don't know if that makes me feel good or makes me feel better. Usually it makes me feel worse when people are on my side. I don't know why that is, but there was a few votes for Eubanks, but it seems like the overwhelming majority is Gatto. And listen, I would never put Eubanks in that parlay, so the votes don't mean anything. This is my parlay. Gatto's going in it. She's in it. Plus 150.
All right. I guess Melissa Gatto is in the parlay. We need something on screen to show this parlay, but okay.
You usually can do polls on YouTube, but let me see if I can do it. Usually it doesn't work. Let's see if I can do it.
And it probably takes too long.
Yeah, we'll see if I can put this on. Usually it locks up my chat.
Okay.
Ask your community. Let's see. I just put it through. I might have to close this out. It's already locking up.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Then we have Harry Hunsucker versus Justin Taffa. Listen, Justin Taffa has 7 fights in his entire MMA career. He's an insane favorite, which makes no sense. It makes sense that he's a favorite, but not this much of a favorite. Justin Taffa hits hard and has a granite chin, so he's not getting knocked out anytime soon. The UFC had been uploading highlights of him versus Tai Tuivasa, which have been so fun. They literally were just winging punches as hard as they could, which was a ton of fun to watch. But Taffa has a chin, a solid head. Harry Hunsucker literally just comes charging forward, throwing like this. Just charging forward and throwing. So I could see why people would pick Hunsucker here. Justin Taffa is not very good, but Justin Taffa, he just got smoked by Jared Vanderaa, but Jared Vanderaa outvolued him, danced around. I don't think Harry Hunsucker has the ability to outvolume and dance around. He just knows how to swing wild. Harry Hunsucker is like the king of Tough Enough. Remember Tough Enough, like those regular people boxing in boxing rings? He's like,
yeah, I did that. I did that. What's that?
Rough and rowdy, Barstool does. That's what Harry Hunsucker is like the king of. Where Justin Taffa is a very good fighter. He's just,
he's almost just like too passive, and we saw that with the weigh-ins too. It's like the guy just doesn't give a shit about anything. Like in a fight, he's like so. Except for that Felipe fight, that the last 30 seconds of that Carlos Felipe fight were just wild. They literally just stood in the middle and just started banging it out. But Taffa just seems too passive. He misses weight. He just gives up 20% of his purse just because he doesn't want to lose 1 pound in an hour.
That's insane. He might have done it on purpose to be the only person to ever miss weight because that was ridiculous.
What's funny? Why it's funny you say that is because I thought maybe a way to like weirdly get your name out there and get people talking about you is to be the first ever. And then people are like, oh, Justin Tafa. And then if you knock the dude out, now all of a sudden you're a name again. So it could have been a calculated play, but it seemed crazy.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. So what's the consensus here? It looks like Tafa. Yeah, and Tafa Bunkwiki, Tafa does have solid leg kicks.
Yo, post that comment for a Hustle Hog real quick. I'm gonna put that on my LinkedIn. Put that on the screen real quick. I bet there we go.
You're an idiot.
There we go. That'll work.
Checkers. Okay. Next up, this is canceled. Then we got Gerald Mearshart versus Dustin Stoltzfus. Gerald Mearshart, everybody talks about his chin, how it's trash. His last fight, he did take some big boy shots, didn't get put out, but he still took, he was still hit, still got a little wobbled, but he was able to pull off that submission, and he was a ridiculous underdog in that fight. The read on Gerald is he needs to get away from striking as quickly as possible, get it to the ground, and work from there. Dustin Stoltzfus is also a grappler, but he's got big, heavy hands. So he's live for a knockout. So this is an interesting one. I'm curious what you guys think. Gerald Mearshart either gets it to the ground and gets a submission, or Dustin Stoltzfus can defend some takedowns and knock Gerald Mearshart out. Somebody commented about us giving – first of all, I picked Gerald Mearshart to win this fight, so maybe it was more towards you. Us giving the Kazmat KO too much credit, meaning Kazmat knocked out Gerald, and we're just now we don't give his chin any credit at all.
Dude,
so who do you – oh, my God. Everybody thinks Dustin wins this fight. No, actually,
there's GR3 votes. But
GM3. Dustin, Gerald.
But his last fight, he was getting – every time he got hit, it was like, whoa. So, it's he didn't get dropped, but, I mean, he's chinny, man. And I'm going all in. I'm picking Dustin by KO. But if the people want Gerald, I'll give the people what they want. I'm the people's champ. So I'll give the people what they want. What do you think the votes are looking like? It looks like it's probably Gerald on the votes.
I think Josh just asked to see your Picheline.
Where is your Python, Jake the Snake? It's onlyfans.com/the-freckled salamander. It's $29.99 a month, but well worth it. Customized videos.
You're all about the freckle. You've mentioned freckled salamander a few times.
I don't know why that's so funny. I think
actual effort into that name.
I think I thought about that like a few months ago or something. It just every time I think about like an OnlyFans name, it's like the freckled salamander. Like the salamander sounds sexual to me.
They're just so small. And Josh says
I put Gerald in.
Hands. So, all right, Gerald it is.
Gerald's in the parlay.
And anybody who just hopped in, what we're doing is we're breaking down every single fight. And just to make it a little more fun and interesting for the breakdown, we're letting you guys pick who you think wins, and Jacob's going to throw every single one of them into a parlay that obviously will not hit. Honestly, you're probably doing it with Bet Online. Next time we do this, you should do it with Bovada or MyBookie. This way we can cash out. We're 5 into that. Just cash out and take the money.
No, this one's going all the way.
Okay, good luck.
This is very easy. You don't trust the people? You saying you don't trust the people?
I don't trust the people, no. How many times have I argued with these people? And after the Ketlin Vieira week, no, I don't trust anybody. I was right. You were all wrong, period. Darren Elkins versus Cub Swanson. I'm interested to see what the people think. And we'll figure out how to put polls up here because there's definitely ways to do it. And we have a cloud bot. We just got to get a little more technical savvy. We'll figure this out as we go. Darren Elkins, Cub Swanson. Cub Swanson's primarily a striker, but he's obviously good everywhere. He's a legitimate legend. He, has he's getting older, but he has like a bouncing in and out style with fast hands, okay power. He's got a pretty good chin, especially considering his age, and he's been in some real wars over the years. Darren Elkins is the epitome of grinder and war. Every fight he's in is a war. And then the damage on his chest, that's for how much damage he takes. Not how much he delivers, but he takes beatings. He keeps coming. He keeps grinding. He keeps working. And his last fight is a perfect example. He avoided a couple of nasty submissions and then took over from there and got himself established. So this is an interesting fight. We have a grinding wrestler who's willing to die out there versus a more technical striker who, is probably also willing to die out there. So, Jacob, we know you like Cub. I like Darren. Jacob, we have that $100 bet, me versus you.
Oh, yeah.
If Darren wins, you pay me $200. If Cub Swanson wins, I pay you $100.
It's easy money. I already spent that $100. I got another chain with it.
Okay. Well, yeah, they're looking good. What do the people think? Angelo hates us.
That was like one of the best comments I saw. I was like, oh, yeah, it's probably true.
We have a Cub vote.
It's going to be Cub. It's more split than you think, but
Elkins, Cub, Cub. It's dead split. We need a couple more to come in here because Jacob and I are split too. Cub, all right. Give another
Cub the Chub gets the sub. I'm putting Cub in just for that. Cub the Chub gets the sub. I like it. He Cubbed in. He made it. Congratulations, Kitten. He made it.
All right. So Jacob just put Cub Swanson based on your votes. If this doesn't hit, you only have yourselves to blame.
Right.
Based on your votes, Jacob just put Cub Swanson in his 13-fight parlay.
This is the last unit to my name. I'm trusting you guys. Angelo doesn't like you. I'm putting my mortgage, into you guys' analysis here.
No, and now the Elkin votes are coming in. Too late. You already added them. Then we've got Mateus Gamrot versus Diego Ferreira. Mateus Gamrot's a nasty wrestler. He's got good technical hands. Doesn't have much power in those hands, though, but he is a nasty wrestler. Can take people down, grind them out, beat them up. I mentioned it before. I think he will be a future champion one day. Genuinely. I think Gamrot is that good. He's almost like a watered down not Khabib, who's Islam. He's like a watered down Islam.
Whoa.
Yeah, because he has the wrestling, but Islam also has really, really good hands and submissions. Where Gamrot's not as submission heavy, but he has that nasty wrestling. Diego Ferreira has very good hands as well, but he's a grappler. He's a jiu-jitsu guy, but he needs to be on top. When he's on bottom, he'll throw up submissions, but he's not necessarily going to get them. So I think this is pretty cut and dry. I think Mateus Gamrot takes Diego down, beats him up, probably takes him down multiple times in this fight. I don't see him winning by stoppage, but takes him down multiple times. Diego's not going to be able to submit Gamrot off his back. So to me, this is a very easy Gamrot win, and $8,500 in DraftKings should absolutely happen. What do you guys think, and who do you think should be in? I mean, everybody's saying Gamrot.
Yeah.
So
pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. All right. So Gamrot's going to make the parlay.
Boom.
Streamlabs. Yeah, the Streamlabs bot is giving people. Sean, who did it yell at? Chris V. How many emojis did you post? Because I have it set to like 10.
I think it's only like a few.
I have it set to 10.
Let's see if it'll kick me out. Here we go. This will be fun.
Yeah, you're nobody.
Look at that. It respects me. Maybe because I'm a mod too.
Yeah, I'll definitely take him down. Well, no. But he did. Those are emojis. He did symbols. Like the standard emojis, not the member emojis.
Oh.
Okay. Then we've got Ricky Simone versus Rafael Assunção. Ricky Simone, 3-2, coming off back-to-back wins after almost a year off. Rafael Assunção, 2-3, and he's riding a 3-fight losing streak that's been spanning 2 years. So he's been very inactive, but he hasn't been winning. Rafael Assunção is nasty, man. Yes, he's older, he's fading, but he's a very, very good grappler. He's got good hands, and he has an 81% takedown defense. And that's not over 5 fights. That's over 20-something fights and 10 years in the UFC. Something absurd like that. So Rafael Assunção is tried and true and tested, and he's beaten Marlon Moraes, Rob Font. He's beaten so many nasty people. He's the real deal. I've been saying all week that these odds are a little disrespectful, but Ricky Simone is a relentless grappler, relentless nonstop grappler, just constantly coming forward, shooting takedowns, grapple. Mostly wrestling, more so than tons of submissions. So obviously the consensus here is that Ricky Simone is just going to take Rafael Assunção down over and over and over, potentially TKO him on top. That is possible, but again, Assunção's got an 80% takedown defense, and he's got that over the course of a shit ton of UFC fights against very good people. So, Jesus
That's from Dunchichi. That's what he wrote in the chat.
And Mbaye pointed out that every single American top team fighter on the last card lost, which is true. I don't think his son Sal's ATT anymore. I think him and his brother left years ago. But and he said that he was beating Cody. So anyway, what is your pick here? I think Ricky is the pick. I just want to point out how good Rafael Sunsao is and not make it, how disrespectful this line can be.
Right. I think I agree with you 100%. And I agree with that comment too about someone that saying that he was going to beat Cody. I think he was going to, we saw what's been happening. Cody, it was a punch he threw from his hip and he got the knockout and it was a highlight, but Rafael probably was going to win that fight. So people are going to be surprised. I'll put Ricky in the lineup. I think he's going to win. He's in the parlay, but people are going to be surprised about Rafael.
Look at Joe Todoro. Here you go, Joe. I'll pin it for you. Just begging to get on the screen. I'll do it for you, Joe, because I like you. But come on, man. Come on. Ricky gives hickeys. This is like the third elementary school rhyme comment we've had. Okay.
Yeah, and Rafael, did you mention the weight cut? He looked not great on the weight cut, right?
I didn't say that.
Oh. Wasn't it? Was it Rafael? Or
I thought he looked fine. No.
Oh, no. It was
Diego Ferreira looked like trash in the weight. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, Ferreira looked bad. But Rafael looked SHIT. I agree. Jacob needs to teach Cody how to throw a real hook. Jacob, show us a hook, Jacob.
It's important. The important thing when you're throwing a hook, guys, you got to get that elbow
I'd like
up.
to see one though.
I know, but you got to get a lot of people when they throw hooks. It's like this, elbow down. The power generates from that elbow. You got to get that elbow up. You got to really.
It doesn't come. It does not. That was
you got to really. You got to really. If you don't have that elbow up, you're gonna have no power in your punch.
You just said the power comes from your elbow. Is that what you said?
No, there's no. I mean, if you have your elbow down, there's no power coming. You got to elbow up.
This is the guy you listen to for fight picks.
Elbow up.
The power comes from your elbow. Okay, buddy. All right.
I'm a jiu-jitsu guy.
Okay, show us your guard. Why don't you lay on your back like a cat and just hiss?
I'll go through every submission I know right now.
Tell you what, go lay on that bed.
Let me get my girlfriend, Samantha.
I'm waiting.
Samantha.
Who the fuck is it? That's not even one of the fake girlfriends that you have that goes to another school. What a joke. She's probably not coming back. Oh, she just ran an errand. She probably just ran an errand. Yeah.
The house is big though, so it's Samantha.
House. You're using the word house loosely. I noticed.
I'm in the garage. I mean, this is the loft above the garage. She's probably in the house. I mean, she's probably sunbathing. I mean, she's probably sunbathing.
Okay. All right. We're losing people fast, Jacob. Amanda Lemos versus Angela Hill. Amanda Lemos is riding a ridiculous streak right now. 4-1 coming off that ridiculous 4-1 in her last 5, coming off that ridiculously fast 30-second knockout over Montserrat Ruiz. Angela Hill 2-3 in her last 5, and she's coming off that loss to Tisha Torres, and all of her losses are to top women in the world, and her wins are against people who are not top women in the world. So at the end of the day, the question is, do you think Amanda Lemos is one of the best women in the world? If so, she dominates Angela Hill. If not, these are the ones that Angela Hill wins. Amanda Lemos is huge for the division. Muay Thai striker, fast hands, tons of power, and she does a very good job keeping her fights at the appropriate distance. And so far, she has a 100% takedown defense or accuracy with a takedown in every single fight except those 2 first-round stoppages. Angela Hill, hot and cold. She is also a Muay Thai girl, but she dances around. She's got pillow fists. She is technical. She's fast, and she's tough, but she's not a stoppage threat in any regard. Amanda Lemos, real deal. I think Angela Hill sort of took this fight as a favorite at UFC, and I think she's going to get beat on. I don't think she gets stopped, but I do think she gets beat on. Everybody's saying Amanda Lemos is going to knock Angela Hill out. You don't know enough about Angela Hill. Who's knocked her out? You know what I mean? Like she was a professional Muay Thai fighter, professional kickboxer before this. So she's very skilled. She just doesn't have much power at all. And Amanda Lemos is huge, and she will win, but she's not going to be knocking out Angela Hill. At least I don't think so. But What do you guys think? Who are you going to put in Jacob's 13-fight fan parlay?
Looks like it's going to be Lemos. I just want to say, too, I rewatched that Montserrat Ruiz fight. I honestly, live, it didn't look like an early stoppage, but the more you look at that, she got dropped, but it immediately was like reacting to like try and grab a leg and stuff. And Chris Taglioni like literally just jumped on top of Lemos. I don't know if he's got something with Lemos there, but you are not wrong when you say Angelo Hill is tough, because that's what I mentioned earlier about the DraftKings lineup. $9,500 for Lemos feels like the play, but with Angelo Hill toughness, I mean, that could be Lemos. I mean, that could be like a 70, 80 point win for Lemos, and just like a decision where she's kind of beating her up, but loses the last round and doesn't get a lot of strikes off. And this could turn ugly for Lemos, honestly. But Lemos is in the parlay, but if this gets drawn out, it could turn ugly for her.
Yeah, I don't have. I'm pulling up my DraftKings lineup now just to see where I ended up, but I don't think I have Lemos in my DraftKings for that exact reason. I don't think she's getting a knockout. And upcoming, here we go. Everybody finally joined our Friends League. Yeah, I don't have Lemos in there because
Conor McGregor of the 115 women's division. Amanda Lemos, the Conor McGregor of the 115 division.
Josh Stern, I agree with you. And I think, honestly, I think she took this fight as sort of a favor. Obviously, she's training hard. She wants to win, but I think it was more like now she's a company person. So they asked for a question and bang. Barry, America has 4 different time zones, if you include Mountain. It's
what about Hawaii?
What?
You just say screw Hawaii? You got a thing against Hawaii?
Nobody thinks of everybody else.
Whoa.
Mainland.
Whoa.
It is 2:12, and we are in Texas. Yeehaw. Hill is soft and old. You guys,
if you think she's Jester, I would encourage you to go on Twitter, and she's got a video of her walking to the scales at weigh-ins. If you think Amanda or Angela Hill is soft, I would recommend you watch that video, maybe on repeat for a half hour, and that should do the trick.
Justin, are you saying Jacob's dangerous because you did that Google search about people that live in your neighborhood and there's a dot above his house, or because the advice he gives you false confidence and you light money on fire? Which type of dangerous are we talking about here?
I am dangerous.
Yeah, window with no van, dangerous. Van with no windows, I mean. Damn it. Oh,
window with no van. Well,
I blew it. Next up, co-main event, we've got Wonder Boy. I'm curious what you guys people think about this one. I'm sick. Don't tell my wife, because we may end up having to cancel Christmas. We'll see what happens. We've got Wonder Boy versus Belal Muhammad. Wonder Boy Thompson got that karate style, that in and out, wide stance. He had very good takedown defense and still does if you look at the totality of his career. If you look at his last fight, the dude was ragdolled by a 155-pounder. And Belal Muhammad, everybody's forgetting that Belal Muhammad is a wrestler. Everybody's forgetting that because he didn't wrestle in his last 2 fights. Well, why would anybody take down? Here you go. What's his name? Oh, my God. Ben Askren took down Damian Maia. How'd that work out? So why would Belal Muhammad then take down Damian Maia? So he didn't need to. He beat him up on his feet. Didn't have to take him down. And he didn't have to take down Diego Lima either. He did once, but he beat him up on his feet as well. So my point being, everybody's forgetting that Belal Muhammad's a grappler, and Stephen Thompson just lost to a grappler wrestler. Anyway, Wonder Boy Thompson is a nasty he's a nasty fighter.
Anyway, that was like a little Nicky when like his Satan. He's like dreaming. He's like anyway. Jesus.
Wonder Boy Thompson, my bankroll is rooting for Belal Muhammad, but my heart is rooting for Wonder Boy. I freaking love that guy. Who do you people think wins this fight? Wonder Boy is very, very good. The odds makers took a legitimate stance. DraftKings took a stance, but everybody's just sleeping on Belal Muhammad's.
Looks like it's like 70%.
And Barry, you can't be serious right now. I'm hoping this is sarcasm, and it's hard to get sarcasm in. I
agree. He faked that
in 100%. Text.
But he started crying. That was a complete fake job.
He literally picked his elbow.
He fought bums. I agree. I'm on Barry here. I agree. Being Barry, I like Barry. Barry, you're promoted assistant manager to We Want Picks. Congratulations. Everyone congratulate Barry in the chat.
Assistant to the assistant manager.
I think it's gonna be Wonder Boy for the parlay. So we're feeling good about this.
I'm seeing it seems split. Giovanni,
It's not
Muhammad.
split. It's like 70% Wonder Boy. Get out of here.
Wonderful win by trying not to have a fight. Muhammad.
I mean, the vote's already. I mean, sorry, it's Wonder Boy.
Right.
I know you want people to have your back, but
I don't care. This isn't my money. It's literally yours.
It's not mine. It's the people's. This is the people's money.
Okay. Sorry, my buddy's texting me. Just quick off topic. So YouTube dropped ESPN overnight, and my buddy's like scrambling like crazy because he's a big football guy, and no ESPN's a problem for Monday Night Football. So he just tried out Hulu because they have, and he was like, "Oh my God, this is terrible. The interface sucks." He's like, YouTube really, dude. YouTube TV is by far the best TV service I've ever had.
It's incredible. The fact that you just log in and on your homepage, it's literally everything you would want to see. You don't have to scroll through channels. Like everything is like boom, 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 boom. Everything I would want to watch. You know what's funny about that is I had no idea there was that contract dispute. I was playing Call of Duty last night, dominating as usual. I got like 6 monitors here. There's just TVs everywhere. But on one of my monitors, I was watching the Laker game, and in the middle, the Laker game all of a sudden just paused. So I was just kind of looking over, just like, what's going on? What's going on? I tried to refresh. Nothing was happening. And then I go to YouTube TV and all the channels are gone. I'm like, what the hell's going on? They literally cut that shit right in the middle of the game. And I saw on Twitter that they
was it midnight? Was it like 11:59?
Yeah, it was literally like right at like boom, done. And like the feed stopped and all the channels just got cut off. I was like, what the hell's going on? And then I saw on Twitter. I'm like, oh no. So
the problem is it's Google versus Disney. Like they're both big enough to throw their weight around, so they may never figure that out.
The thing that kills me, you mentioned like we have ESPN Plus, so it's not a huge deal for sports, but like FX, all the FX stuff, I watch FX movies all the time. So
yeah, it's like 17 channels or something crazy. Then we have main event of the evening: Derek Lewis versus Chris Daukaus. This breakdown, we've done it and many times. You can watch any Derek Lewis breakdown; it will be exactly the same. Derek Lewis is not as good of a fighter, but has a ton of power. So Chris Daukaus, very good striker, jiu-jitsu black belt. We've never seen him on his back. We haven't really seen him get any takedowns. We don't see any of that skill set because his striking is just so freaking good. He does have power, but nobody has Derek Lewis power. And Derek Lewis does nothing, bang, one punch, you're out. So basically, Chris Daukaus needs to dance around, touch up Derek, hop in, 3 strikes, leave, hop in, 3 strikes, leave. And he'll dominate Derek Lewis. But if he overcommits, comes in too fast, comes in too slow, makes a mistake, Derek Lewis can put him on his ASS. Who do you guys think that wins this fight? Because I am curious who ends up in the lineup.
I mean, this could be imagine if we get all the way to this point and the chat gets this one wrong. How disappointing I'd be in the chat. You guys can't let me down. You got to vote right now. Derek Lewis, Chris Daukaus. This is for all. I mean, this is for all the marbles because I feel good. Angelo, I don't know how you feel. I feel extremely confident in every single pick leading up to this moment. So we're gonna go into the main event, 12 of 12, and this is up to you guys. This is up to you guys. You got to vote. If it's up to me, I'm picking Daukaus, but
there's got to be ways to put. The problem is with OBS. There's ways to put polls on the screen and all that.
Oh, you can do. It's very easy. I mean, YouTube. It's literally embedded into the chat for YouTube. I can click create a poll,
but if I can't show it on the screen, well, I guess.
But it just locks up every time I do it. So I don't know. Maybe just because I'm.
Elizabeth Hadley has become a member. Welcome, Elizabeth Hadley.
Elizabeth,
welcome. Thank you so
exciting.
much. We have Daukaus by points, Daukaus by submission. Chris V, I actually do think Daukaus might come out here with a grapple-heavy game plan. I hope you get the hedge when this fight is next. What does that mean?
The last fight, then hedge it, basically, for whatever our parlay said. So if we have it, if we're 12 for 12 with Chris, then you just hedge it with Lewis. I did that in the football parlay last weekend with the Packers. I had needed the Packers to win like I think it was like 4. It was like 20 units maybe. So I put a little bit on the Bears and guaranteed myself. Hedging is very good.
Bears.
The Bears.
Leave it. Stockholder, you're
Wow,
way
Josh
behind, buddy
thinks
boy.
that Bilal is going to win the co-main event and then like run through, jump the cage, and beat both these guys for the main event. Josh Stern says Bilal is going to beat Derek Lewis and Chris Daukaus. Crazy.
Lewis is losing, unfortunately. I think it will be his last fight. Nah, it definitely won't be his last fight. Too much money. He makes too much money for this to be his last fight, no matter how he loses. Did we get a consensus here?
I don't know. I don't see a lot.
And
of
I agree, Elizabeth. Thank you very much for becoming a member. It is very, very appreciated.
Nobody's voting,
and I agree. I did go against Wonder Boy, but it like hurt my heart to do it. I was not okay clicking the button when I placed that bet. But
so if you want to do it like this, you want to listen to this. If we go Derek Lewis, our parlay odds will be plus almost 8,000. Okay. And if we go Daukaus, the odds for the parlay will be about plus 6,000. So it's a plus 2,000 difference.
That's ridiculous. He's only what is his money line now?
Plus 126 for Lewis, minus 146 for Daukaus.
I did not see Spider-Man, but somebody yesterday said, was it you that said it was like the greatest movie ever?
Jordan Bergard in the chat. He's also known as Big Don. If you hear us reference Big Don, he's a big Marvel guy. He saw it and said it was incredible. Everything I've heard was it's like the best movie of all time.
Lewis versus Tuivasa. That could be good, but I think Tuivasa just chops his legs, and Tuivasa's head is too hard for Derek to do something with it. But that could be interesting. All right, we have our parlay. It's official.
Well, what do we pick, Daukaus or Lewis? I still don't know.
Tonchichi said Daukaus twice, so that's 2. Yeah,
I think everyone's real scared.
Stockholder did all his picks. He did Daukaus, Levitt, Mays, Jordan, Taffa, Mearshart, Swanson, Gamrot, Simon, Thompson, Daukaus.
Oh, Elizabeth said, I'm just here to see Samantha. I think she'll be here. What, do we have it Tuesday? She's going to join us? I think Tuesday she'll join. Oh, no. Oh, man. You know what's fun? Oh, man. We had her scheduled for Tuesday, but there's no fights. Damn it.
Don't worry. We'll go live Tuesday.
We'll figure it out. There's Daukaus, Lewis, Daukaus. I think it's going to be Daukaus, guys.
Throw Daukaus in there and then give us the final odds.
It's going to be plus 5940. So almost plus 6,000.
That's it. 13 fights and that's it. You got better odds on your 7-fight round parlay.
I know, but these are the people we picked are minus 130, plus 147, minus 142, minus 185, plus 150, minus 305, minus 230, minus 155, minus 220, minus 270, minus 280, minus 220, minus 146. There's a lot of big favorites. But it is officially... Oh, my God. The odds changed when I tried to place it for Daukaus. So we're moving the odds, guys. We're moving the odds. Daukaus went from a minus 146 to a minus 150. Do we still feel good about that? I think we do.
Yeah, lock it in.
Now it's plus 57 or 57.26.
Okay, let's do our bets. We're winding down here. Let's go. Let's recap our bets. Then we'll catch up with some chat. So I have more bets than usual this week. I've got 9 units going, which I don't normally do, but honestly, Gamrot, I got 3 of them on him, which is more than I ever do on any one fighter, but I think he should be I think he's as close to his lock as you're going to get on this card. So, Stockholder, you asked for a quick, easy top 3 parlay. Let me just throw this out there, though, guys. We give you guys our full breakdowns. We break down every single fight, fighter A, fighter B, what they're good at, how we think it's going to go together. We give you our bets, drafting lineup. But these bets, these are our bets. These are my bets. This is what I actually did with my money. When we go to Jacobs, those are his real bets, no matter how laughable they are. Those are his actual bets. So we get a ton of questions. Who should I bet on? What's your favorite parlay? It's a slippery slope because I don't like telling anybody else what to do with their money. This is what I'm doing with my money. I'll give you my advice. I'll give you my thoughts. But I hate that question. And you know, you didn't do anything wrong by asking. I don't like the responsibility of telling people what to do with their money. But I'll tell you what I did. Jacob will tell you what he did. You can watch the breakdown and we can go from there. I personally think Gamrot is a straight up lock. Straight up lock. I think he should be in everybody's DraftKings lineup. He's certainly in mine. And I did 3 full units at minus 200. I did Tyron Woodley in the boxing. I felt much better about it before Jacob sent that Rolex video. If you don't know, Jake Paul gave Tyron Woodley a Rolex, and Tyron Woodley like almost cried. He was so happy, and like, you know, it took a little bit of the sting off of everything there. But I am going to be watching that fight tonight. Maybe I'll go live for it. We'll see how I feel. I don't feel great now, but we'll see how I feel later. Then I got Darren Elkins at plus 160. That is by no means a lock, but I do love the odds. If it was even money, I don't think I would have touched it. Darren Elkins, nasty grinder. Cub Swanson is also nasty, but he's a little older, and I can see Darren Elkins grinding him out, beating him up, getting the takedowns, going from there. Melissa Gatto, plus 150, only a half a unit on that. Honestly, that might be a game time decision if I bump it up a little bit. Probably not, because the fight's starting about a half an hour here. But Melissa Gatto, big, strong. I'll take you off the screen. Big, strong, also a very good grappler and a good striker. She's fighting Sijara Eubanks, who looked miserable at weigh-ins. Miserable. Very bad at weigh-ins. Sijara's coming down in weight, and this is a very tough opponent. Sijara has had cardio issues in the past. This may be it for her. And I got Chris Daukaus minus 140. And Chris Daukaus, I did a unit on that. He's definitely the better fighter, literally everywhere except raw power. So he just has to avoid that power. And then I did Bilal Muhammad at plus 200. When I did that, I was positive that was going to happen. Like literally, I sat down to do my research. I saw Bilal Muhammad and Stephen Thompson. Bilal Muhammad's a nasty wrestler. Stephen Thompson was just out wrestled by a 155-pounder. Bang. I placed the bet. As time goes on, I'm getting a little more nervous about it. And I don't want it to – it's so weird because I put money on it, but I love Wonder Boy so much I like almost don't want it to happen. And then I have two prop bets. They're both under on rounds. And Barcelos Henry, so that's refunded. That fight was canceled. And then Jourdain Uhl, I went the under on rounds. I think Charles Jourdain will get the stoppage, but Uhl is big and tough and strong and a good boxer. So potentially he could. So instead of doing Jourdain by stoppage, I just did the under to cover the other side of it at minus 110. Let's look at some chat, and then we'll hit yours very quick, Jacob.
I'm trying to get people to like the stream, and I think they want me off the show. I said we have to get the 50 likes on the stream for me to stay on the show, and they're like actively making sure we don't get the 50 likes. So it's pretty telling right now. I literally did a parlay for the chat, and nobody wants to respect the likes. I don't get it.
It's something about you just unlikable. I totally understand where people are coming from. It is what it is. I've just learned to live with it. Wonder Boy and a prop winning and over 1.5. Yeah, definitely over 1.5, but the over 1.5 round or the over 1.5 line is probably freaking minus God knows what. Daukaus takes too many shots in each fight. That is the big concern, but don't forget Derek Lewis has like no volume whatsoever. So he has to land the big shot. Lewis only needs one. I agree. But he didn't have that one. Look at all of his losses. He didn't have that one. Let's see. Jacob, did you see the parlay in the chat? I don't know what it was.
Woodley,
Bilal, trying to tell
and
people how to
Gatto.
spend their money.
That was the parlay he's talking about, I think. Woodley, Bilal, and Gatto.
I
don't
agree.
like Woodley anymore. I honestly, I'm very anti-Woodley. And I actually placed a bet to kind of hedge my Woodley bet. And I can talk about that on my bet slide. But
Quentin, just getting right to the point here. It's hard to call. We went from 41 to 42. Angelo is a great promoter for Gamrot fight. Can't wait to see it. I can get people excited about things. I am very good about that. So hopefully I'm right. Gatto, Lewis by KO, round 2 to 4. Jake Paul, 3-man parlay. All right, Jakey boy, walk us through where you're throwing your money at.
okay. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but I mentioned there's two bets that are not on here that I placed recently. One of them is I don't feel great about the Woodley fight anymore. So to kind of hedge that 2-unit bet, but also maybe still win with that bet. On top of it, I did a 2-unit bet on the fight goes the distance at, which was that, minus 130? Yeah, so I put 2 units on the fight goes the distance at minus 130 because at this point, I thought Woodley might be able to knock him out, but at this point, it feels like he doesn't even want to knock him out. So I think it goes the distance and maybe Woodley still ends up winning, but that's a bet that's not on here. The other bet that I love playing, and we got Colts Patriots. We're going to see the Colts just dominate. I got Colts minus 0.5 point in the first half. I think they come out hot. I think they come out ready. So I got minus. That's just another bet on there. I think I put 2 units on that. So the rest is Frank Gore, boxing, plus 135, 2 units. He looks like the more powerful guy. They actually turned that fight into an exhibition instead of a pro fight like last night for whatever reason. I think Angelo maybe said for, drug testing or something like that, but who knows why they did it, but they did it. It's still going to have a winner and still have judges. So hopefully the bet still gets paid. Jordan Levitt, I feel good about it. 2 units. Aggressive grappler for somebody that throws a lot of kicks and isn't very good on the ground. Got submitted last fight and had a 2-year layoff where he ballooned up to 250 pounds. The guy's a lightweight. A year ago, he was 250 pounds. He had ACL surgery. He had a baby. Angelo knows how to go. You gain weight when you have a baby. So, I had Melissa Gatto, plus 146, 5 units on Melissa Gatto. I feel good about this. I felt good about it earlier in the week, but then especially from the Sajara Eubanks weight miss, I feel really, really good.
Ooh, hold on. Sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted you. This is a great bet, Chris Riley. Great bet. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm actually I'm gonna see if that is a good bet.
So real quick, while Jacob looks that up, what this means, we always talk about the plus 3.5 bets where you buy a round on the judge's scorecard. So your fighter just needs to win 1 round. This is minus 3.5, which means just if your fighter doesn't give up a round. Jesse with the donation. Thank you very much. It is always appreciated. Maybe we take that and we throw it on this Gamrot. Because basically if Gamrot wins by stoppage or 30-27, you hit the bet. So it's basically the exact same thing as a Gamrot money line because Gamrot's not going to, there's not going to be a split decision there. Gamrot's not going to give up a round. He either dominates start to finish or gets caught in something like crazy. So I think that's a great bet, Chris. wewantpicks.com/bets. We have 5 betting partners. BetOnline is the partner that offers the plus or minus 3.5. Even money for minus 3.5. That's the exact spot. That's a good bet. Are you placing it right now?
I just put a unit on it for sure. 100% unit because I like Gamrot, but obviously with the money lines and stuff, he's already up to like a minus 225. And like you said, that it's basically like playing a money line bet with that. So Chris Riley, we appreciate that. That's why if you guys have bets to send us, let us know because there's some stuff that we don't see. So if you're in the chats and you guys have stuff you're playing, let us know and we might jump on it with you. So I'm not sure where I was at, but Gatto, I'm Gatto all the way. I got a money line. I got inside the distance decision, no action. That's kind of a just in case she kind of gets out wrestled or whatever. I can get my units back and then wins by submission. I mentioned earlier, if you guys weren't watching, this actually is plus 600 now. So I got it at plus 1,000. I put a unit on it. This is plus 600 now. So the odds are moving a little bit.
That's almost half.
Right. Yeah. So and then I got a round. So last week, my big win was the round parlay. This, instead of parlaying it, I just kind of picked what I wanted with some plus odds. And again, a lot of these bets, guys, are with Angelo's going to make fun of me, but how I won a lot last week, so I'm getting even more aggressive this week. To be clear, you won a lot last week and the week before. And this is exactly why when you guys go to Vegas, when you go to casinos and you see how nice everything is, you see they got this, they give you free drinks, they have all this money. It's because of people like me. Because I win and I don't stop, I just keep tripling down, I quadruple down. So if you guys are following me, know that I'm doing this with money that it's like not my actual money. This is money that I won off of previous bets, dominant. So this is round parlays. I just saw some stuff that I like for plus odds. I got under 2.5 rounds for Gamrot Fajeda, Lemos Hill, Maze Parisian. The Maze Parisian, I think is probably the worst one on here because those guys are sloppy. It's probably gonna be a decision, but I saw plus 100, so I threw a unit at it. Then I have Dustin wins by KO. This is just basically the meerkat with his chin issues. I think he has chin issues, and I think Dustin can catch him on an entry because his entry is just not good with the wrestling. Next slide, please, sir. And then we got the plus 3.5 with a Sun Sao, and this is basically usually you pick grapplers for the plus 3.5 because they can control around the ground. If they get somebody on the ground, they can control them. This is like the exact opposite bet because he's facing the better wrestler in Ricky Simone. Sun Sao is much, much better than people give him credit for. And I think early he's able to stuff some takedowns and maybe win the round with the striking. He just has to win 1 round versus Ricky. And Ricky's not really a finisher on the ground. So I like this bet plus 3.5 at plus 105. And then Bilal, this seems crazy to me. If anyone's going to win that fight, I think that fight's probably going to go decision. I think it's probably a boring decision that Stephen Thompson wins. But if anyone is going to finish anyone, it's probably going to be Bilal Muhammad with his volume, with his pressure, maybe with his grappling. So 2 units. I'll probably just end up getting those 2 units back on a decision. But if he ends up finishing Stephen Thompson on the ground or whatever, I win inside the distance. I win that plus 190. So And then I have that 4-fight parlay, which I placed on Wednesday, I think. If I were to place this today, I would not place this because Macy Chasson missed by literally 13 pounds from her weight. I like Jordan Levitt. Obviously, I like Gamrot. And then Justin Tafa acts like he just first guy to ever miss the heavyweight limit. Looks like he just doesn't even give a shit. Had an hour to lose. So I don't feel great about this. Somebody put in the chat earlier, like, oh, I like that plus 833 because there is 3 favorites and then Macy, but 4 units. I probably would have backed that down to like 1 or 2 at this point, but that's my parlay. And if you guys follow the We Want Picks Twitter or my personal Twitter, whatever, I'll be actively betting all day on the Colts game.
You have the password, right? Do the We Want Picks Twitter.
You want me to tell them what the password is?
Okay, it's
the freckled salamander.
But yeah, so you're not going to come over. The fights start in 30 minutes. So we're going to drop in a little bit. So any last questions you guys have, let us know. I'm not going to see. The problem is we got banned from DraftKings for a little while because we shared full lineups. So I'm not going to share my full DraftKings lineup, but I'll talk through. I got Gamrot in there for sure. I like Melissa Gatto at $7,500. The problem was I also loved Hani Barsolas. It'd be actually probably paying the ass to bounce back and forth. I loved Hani Barsolas, but I had to lose him. So I dropped him, and then I only had a few options. So this is what I had. I could do Wonder Boy, but I think Wonder Boy loses, and I have Bilal. I could do Mearshart, who should win, and if he wins, should put up real numbers because he really only wins by submission. But the problem is Mearshart could get knocked out cold. I could do Jourdain against Uhl. I think Cub Swanson loses. I think Sajara loses. And then now I'm in I don't think any of these other people win. So do you guys think I should go Mearshart or Jourdain now that Hani Barsolas dropped? What?
If I were you, I would definitely
I'm doing Mearshart because
I would do that for sure.
First of all, I went Mearshart because
that's a good play.
He just scores more points than Jourdain does. Right. And I already have the bet on Jourdain under rounds.
That's a definitely good play. I would go if I were you.
To take your stupid
I
ass
would go Mearshart for sure.
I like Cub Swanson, and now I'm hoping he just gets obliterated at a spike.
Who's in my lineup? Jourdain, baby.
Jourdain. Gamrot, Jourdain. Who's the Brazilian flag? Lemos?
Gatto.
Gamrot,
Gatto, Jourdain, Levitt, Lemos. Oh my God, I do have Dustin in there. All right, well, we're rolling with Dustin. I thought I took him out, but we're rolling with Dustin. Yeah, so put
sides.
Put Mearshart in there. That'll be fun.
Like the video real quick. Hey, guys, we're 2 subscribers away from 3,400 people. So if you're watching, you're not subscribed, we just need 2 more to get 3,400 subscribers. No fights for a month. I like nice, clean. Let's just jump that line. 2 more subscribers. Click the button, please. We'll hang out for another couple of minutes, and then I'm going to go relax because my kids.
I thought I was going to be able to take a nap this afternoon, but apparently not. Fights are getting ready to start. 15 minutes, basically.
Yeah, and I don't feel great, so hopefully I'll be back here. I'm not going to be able to live stream UFC because it starts so freaking early, but I may live stream. Maybe I'll live stream. What time is the main card kickoff? 6 or though?
6, yeah.
6, 7, 8. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll live stream the last 2 fights or so, but I might live stream the Jake Paul Tyron Woodley fight. We'll see. Hopefully we get 2 more subscribers between now and then. Jacob, any parting words for the people?
Go Colts. Carson Wentz throws for 900 yards tonight, 10 touchdowns. So Colts beat the Patriots. I'm going to say I'll give a real prediction here. Colts Patriots. I see 27-17 Colts.
Okay. Very annoying. Everybody, I say this all the time. It probably gets annoying, but wewantpicks.com/bets. Make a deposit. I paid out a bunch of people today, so hopefully I'm all caught up. Make a deposit, then come back, let me know, and I'll send you $50. Literally 50. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, $50, however you want it. Everybody else, we have a Discord. We have a Discord server. If you don't know what Discord is, it's basically just a giant chat room. It's 100% free. We never charge anybody for anything. We ask for donations. We ask for memberships, but we don't force it. We don't charge you. We don't hide anything behind a paywall. Join the Discord. It is free, and you guys can argue, chat, bounce each other. We're building a community here. You guys are some of the sharpest people, that do this and watch these things. Share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. Share your picks. Everybody else do the same. And if you think the Discord should be formatted differently, let me know. Right now, I just have one. They call them channels. One channel per event. Maybe we do it per fight or per fighter. You guys tell me how you want it set up. We'll make it super useful. You guys will give you as much value as you can possibly get out of it. And we'll see you guys later today. If not, we'll do the full recap tomorrow. Thanks for everything. See you guys then. What are you signing? What are you doing?
I'll be giving peace out. I'm just like, see you later.
God. Bye, everybody.